So I don't need the video for a little bit anyway. So I've been asked to talk to you about manufacturing. And robots and manufacturing are kind of a bit of a gimme, I guess. Australia is, relatively speaking, a high labour cost country. But robots and manufacturing are a pretty well understood thing. And and so it's not so obvious about where the new opportunities are here. And so I'm going to talk to you much more about opportunities that take advantage of a human involved in the process, where the human can add a lot of value into the process. And I think that's where the good opportunities are. Now, I'm actually going to really be talking about how robots are a bit rubbish, which might seem interesting for a centre of robotic vision. So here is a state-of-the-art system. This robot costs $250,000. And here it is folding towels. So this is an autonomous robot, and it looks at the towel and it grasps some corners. And it really comes into the category of talking dogs, right? It's amazing that you can do it at all, not because it will do it well. Now, this particular robot folded 5 towels in just under 2 hours. So manipulating fabric is not something robots are good at. So we're interested in joint human robotic solutions to manufacturing tasks. And there are other things that robots aren't very good at. Flexible things like fabric, string. If I hand you a jar of nuts and bolts and I ask you to take a nut and a bolt out of the jar, you can do it with your eyes closed. You program a robot to do it is an enormously difficult task. Conversely, there are things that humans are pretty rubbish at. We can't measure the locations of surfaces to micron precision, but robotic vision systems can do this. We can't calculate exactly how to thread a tool holding a nut into a cavity so that I can put a bolt in from the other side. But robots are really good at solving collision-free paths to be able to do this. So we're interested in systems where the human and the robot will operate in the same workspace cage-free. We do now have cage-free robots. Baxter is a famous example, but there are others like the UR5 that we have in my lab at Monash. And these things are certified to be safe in cage-free operation with humans. And so we want to be able to, so this was done with Willow Garage, that's the video. We want to be able to set up work cells where we can explore this kind of space and develop the technologies. So for example, a human might be wanting to attach a fabric to a frame, and the robot can see and sense exactly where the frame is. I put the fabric over the frame, and because the robot knows where the frame is, it knows exactly where the attachment points are to sub-millimeter precision. I can no longer see them, so if I'm now trying to put the attachments in, it's difficult for me to do, but I can hold the fabric there. The robot can say, yes, the fabric is held to an appropriate tension and the surface is correct, and then very precisely attach it to the frame. Or it can feed a bolt in through a hole, a nut in through a hole on the end of an arm, position it at the back of a hole in a hollow space, and I can attach the skin to a frame by putting a bolt in through the hole from the outside. Another thing robots are good at compared to humans is they don't drop things nearly as often. If I'm doing that, trying to get it in with a spanner, chances are I might drop the nut or the spanner. So really I want to sort of trigger thinking and ideas about how this kind of stuff can be explored in other domains. So we're building a work cell that will have a robot on one side, a workspace in the middle, and a human on the other. You might think of it as being a bit like, you know, as a prototype example of the two of us putting together an IKEA piece of furniture or something like that. But it could be part of an aircraft, or it could be part of piece of equipment for mining, or whatever it is. So there are lots and lots of opportunities to do this kind of thing. So I just really want to sort of inject those ideas and see where it leads you to think. Thank you.